imagine this. In a quiet little town in Oregon, there was a woman named Rachel Lee who claimed to be psychic. Now, she wasn't exactly in the business of foreseeing futures. She was in the business of conning people. One day, a lonely 57-year-old man named Ralph walked into her humble psychic shop. Ralph, a man with a kind soul and a deep sense of isolation, had never experienced love or companionship. Yet behind his reserved smile, he carried the weight of a fortune. His family owned a wildly successful tree farm. Rachel Lee saw an opportunity the moment Ralph sat down for a reading. With the practiced ease of a seasoned swindler, she told him exactly what he wanted to hear. She fed him promises of hope, love, and new beginnings. Slowly but surely, Ralph became her devoted client, returning day after day, sharing more and more of his personal life. Their bond deepened, and soon enough, he was showering her with little gifts, writing her checks, and even hiring her as his personal housekeeper. Before long, she had her hands in every aspect of his world, even managing the finances of his family's tree farm. Then came the twist, a prediction that would change everything. Rachel Lee told Ralph that destiny had a surprise in store. He was about to meet someone very special, a blonde woman with a charming English accent. For a man who'd been starved for affection his whole life, this prophecy was pure magic. And so, fate stepped in at the Portland airport. There, amidst the hustle and bustle, Ralph met Mary Marks. She seemed to fit the bill perfectly. The blonde, the accent, the allure of youth. Mary claimed to be an exchange student in her 20s, and soon enough, the two of them sparked a connection that defied distance. She was in California, and he was in Oregon. Their courtship blossomed quickly, and in a whirlwind of romance and hope, they married. Ralph, so enamored by this newfound love, even got a personalized license plate that read, Ralph, Mary. But the love-struck businessman was unaware of the sinister plot unfolding behind the scenes. As their relationship deepened, Mary soon took on a role in managing the family's finances. With both Rachel and Mary now at the helm, they began funneling money into their own pockets. Rachel started selling off Ralph's investments, paying herself lavish sums every month, while Mary sweet-talked her way into controlling even more of his wealth. In a further twist of fate, the duo hatched another audacious plan. Despite years together, Ralph and Mary had never been intimate. Yet, longing for the family he'd always dreamed of, they decided to have a child through IVF. In an utterly bizarre arrangement, Mary persuaded Ralph to provide what she euphemistically called his special sauce for the procedure. And just like that, 9 months later, Mary returned to Oregon with a baby she claimed was Ralph's, a baby she named Giorgio Armani, as if bestowing upon him the air of luxury and high fashion. Now here's where the story takes an even darker turn. Mary Marks wasn't the innocent, lost-in-love woman Ralph believed her to be. In a shocker that could freeze your blood, Mary was actually Rachel Lee's own daughter. Yes, the very woman who had predicted his fated meeting was part of the scam, too. Mary had been just 17 when she first encountered Ralph at the airport, and 19 when they married, all while hiding behind a fake identity, a counterfeit English accent, and even a blonde wig. And that baby, Giorgio, not Ralph's at all. It wasn't conceived with him, but rather it was a ruse, a child borrowed from a relative, used to further deepen the deception. For over a decade, Rachel Lee and her daughter meticulously drained nearly $15 million from poor, unsuspecting Ralph. Their con even extended to convincing him that his own inheritance was in jeopardy. When Ralph's elderly father passed away, leaving him the cherished family tree farm, Rachel spun a lie so elaborate that she made him believe he was utterly broke. Desperate and trusting, Ralph sold the farm for a jaw-dropping $122 million to pay off a fabricated inheritance tax. With that windfall, Rachel indulged in her wildest dreams, buying another psychic shop, splurging on real estate in California, and even treating her boyfriend to luxurious cars and fancy watches. But as they say in small towns, secrets don't stay hidden for long. Neighbors began whispering about the flashy white Ferrari parked outside Rachel's shop, a glaring anomaly in a town where pickup trucks ruled the roads. Eventually, suspicions grew, and the local police started digging into Ralph's finances. They uncovered a trail of extravagant purchases that made no sense for a modest man like Ralph. And then, after 10 long years of deception, the scam unraveled. When the authorities finally confronted him, poor Ralph was devastated. Even as he realized he'd been manipulated, his kind heart couldn't fully turn away the memories of the family he thought he'd built. In a final act of bitter irony, the police arranged for Mary Marks to confess her fraudulent role in front of Ralph, removing her blonde wig to reveal her true self. Only then did the devastating truth sink in for him. Rachel Lee was sentenced to 9 years in prison, Mary Marks received 2.5 years, and even Rachel's boyfriend ended up behind bars for his part. Yet through it all, Ralph's heart still clung to that fleeting dream of love and family, even if it had all been an elaborate, heart-wrenching sham. This is a story of manipulation, loss, and the devastating cost of misplaced trust. A reminder that sometimes the deepest wounds come not from the world at large, but from the ones we hold dear. Hey, if you enjoyed this, smash that like button and hit subscribe. It helps more than you think. See you in the next one.